Welcome back, students. So, this is our second class of the first chapter, Human Body, the Food We Eat. So, in this class, we will be going and learning through the topics balanced diet and how we can care of the food so as to avoid its wastage and what is the role of the plants in our daily life. Okay, students. So, first of all, we will go through the balanced diet and understand what it means. So, students, as we have already discussed that food is very integral part so as to maintain our health and to keep us fit and disease free. So, for a diet to provide us all the essential nutrients, it should contain the proteins, carbohydrates, minerals, vitamins, and fats. And all these of the nutrients should be in the right proportion in our diet. And that is what we called as a balanced diet. Okay, so what is a balanced diet? A balanced diet is a diet that contain all the essential nutrients. And what are those nutrients? Those are proteins, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, and minerals. And all these are in right proportion. Got it? So this is called as a balanced diet. Okay, and a balanced diet is very essential, and we must have a balanced diet so that we can live a healthy life. Okay, students. So now we will go through the next topic, that is how we can care of the food and why should we avoid its wastage. So, as we know that if we will left out the food for some time, it will get spoiled, okay, and it will not be fit so as to be eaten. So, the technique that we will use or the method that is used for preserving the food is called its preservation, okay, and for the preservation of the food we use various methods and the techniques. So those methods of preserving the food, they are called as food preservation. Okay, students. So why we need to preserve the food? What is the need of it? So by preserving the food, we can use the food so that we can eat it for longer time. Okay, because we cannot have all of the food in a sudden. Correct? So we need its preservation, and for preservation we can use various of the method. Okay, students. So by preserving the food, why we preserve the food? So that we can use the preserved food for the longer period of time. So now we will go through how we can preserve the food. So there are the following methods. The first one that is given, it is freezing. So what is freezing? The food items like the dishes that your mother prepares you must have noticed that during the time when your mother prepares the food and some of the food items is being left out, what your mother does? She kept it safe in the freezer, isn't it? So the vegetables, the fruits, the baked food, they are stored in cold so as to avoid them from being getting spoiled. Okay, so the next method for the food preservation is canning. In this method the food is being preserved in packed airtight container. So students, this thing you might have noticed in the packaged food items. Okay, they are packed airtight like the packets of Lay's, Kurkure. You can easily see that they are being preserved, isn't it? So that they can be eaten for longer period of time. Okay, students. Third technique and the method is salting. This is the method for the preservation of the food in order to make them preserved so as we can eat them for a longer period of time. Okay, students, the example is pickle. Okay, so you might have seen your mother when she prepares the pickle, she puts salt in it. Okay, so by adding the salt to the pickle, its preservation period is being enhanced. Okay, now fourth one is by adding sugar. So in this method, food items like the fruits, they are being added with the sugar. You might have seen there are the various fruit edibles that are being brought by your father or the mother to your home for you. Example like the jellies, the jams, your favorite one, and etc. So these are the items that include the added sugar. And what for? These are added so as to preserve them for a longer period of time. The fifth method for the preservation of food, it is by adding oils. This method is being followed like if I tell you the example, your mother prepares pickle and in that she adds salt, and along with the salt after a period of time she adds oil to it so as to make it available for longer duration of time and it can be eaten then after. Okay, students, so what we have read is how we can avoid the wastage. Okay, so how we can avoid the wastage? We can avoid the wastage of food by preserving it. And how we can preserve? We can preserve by the various methods that we have studied. And how many methods we have studied? There are 5 methods. So you repeat with me. The first one is correct, freezing, canning, salting, by adding sugar, and by adding oils. Very good. Okay, so now the next topic that we will go through is the role of plants in our life. So students, all of us know that directly or indirectly, all the food items that we have in our day-to-day life, we get it from the plants. You can easily notice like the vegetables you eat, the fruits you consume, they are directly from the plants, isn't it? Some of the other food items like the egg, milk, cheese, and the butter, we get all of these dairy products from the animals. But animals also they eat the leaves of the plants, isn't it? So directly they gives us fruits and vegetables, and indirectly also they give us the products. Okay, so we all are dependent on plants directly or indirectly. So we can say that plants not only provide us the food, but it also provides us very essential and important thing, that is the life giving oxygen. Remember, without oxygen we cannot even dream of surviving, because oxygen is required for inhaling. All of you take in the air, no? The air that we breathe in, it's oxygen. So without plants we cannot have oxygen, because they take in carbon dioxide and give us oxygen, which helps us in respiration. Hence, students, it's our duty that we should save the trees and we should try to plant more and more trees, isn't it? So let us take an oath that each and every one of you will plant at least one plant in air, at least on your birthday, and see the change around you. Okay, students? So this is how our first chapter ends. I hope you all understood, and don't forget to revise it again. Now, for the next chapter, we will have a separate video. Till then, keep studying, be safe, be indoors.